What is going on YouTube? Green underscore lantern 831 here with my first YouTube special for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And this is a Nancy squad wipe, iconically at Nancy's house. First off, I want to give a shout out to my teammates. This Johnny here, Faded Eyes 420, was on mic with me. We had actually just met randomly in the game, and they were on point. They held the car battery, so you can see how I held down the front of the house. And Sissy, I gotta give credit, they did their rotation. I didn't have them on mic, so I don't know what they were really doing while running around the front, but we really worked it, and I hope you all enjoy seeing how I held down the front of Nancy's house and we got the 4 wipe as a team. So starting off, I was using the back porch. I was on mic with him, telling him what gates to check. While securing the house, I had several barbed wires hidden throughout the house, and they did come to my benefit. The first one you'll see that it benefits is when I find Maria here. You can see her trying to crouch and creep through the bathroom as she's trying to come into the guest room. She starts opening. I take myself behind the bureau so she can't see me until she comes through. Get those 2 free hits, she starts running for the door. And immediately, not even going behind the couch, she tries to go through my barbed wire and get to the lock. So I just start beating her. She's taking the damage. I run out of stamina, but she's barbed wired up. I got Nancy time. She stops right at the top of the ladder and tries to take the barbed wire off, but it is too late. Maria is the first one out. Alright, next we transition. This isn't a kill so much as a little bit of struggling we did with 2 of the girls up here in the house. I see Connie getting ready to come up the side gate ladder. So, of course, I go out to greet her. Meanwhile, Johnny's still in the back doing his thing, securing the car battery. We're talking. I missed my swing. I don't know why I swung the opposite direction, but Connie gets into a struggle with me. We get 1 clean gut shot, but she ends up winning the conflict.
Die, damn you!
Going back down the ladder. I end up waiting for a second just to see if she's going to make her way back up or what kind of game she's trying to play. I assume she was trying to run back into the house or by the well at this point. But lo and behold, she may have just been trying to provide a distraction as Julie tries to unlock my door. What are you thinking, Julie? Julie thinks the same thing, getting to a struggle, so she had a lockpick and a bone pick with her. Well, I got a bone to pick with you, Julie. Again, another victim wins the close encounter, but they still didn't win the lock. Nancy's house is still secure, so in my eyes, I'm still winning. After this, we see this was a little bit later. After Julie had run back, she was downstairs in the garage near the trophy room, and in the time that it took me to shake it off and run over to the stairs, Julie had magically snuck up like she was going to approach the middle again. So Julie immediately goes and checks and sees. I don't know if she was trying to gauge her distance and decided she was going to try to come back again, but it cost her a couple hits. And I was getting a little frustrated with her, so I decided, you know what, Julie, don't think I'm just going to stand up here. I'll come down and take a couple more hits out of you while you run. But my job is to secure the house upstairs, making sure that they don't breach that door. And if they do, worst case, I think next was, yes, I did a Connie vision. Seen her down in the tunnels, and immediately after we hear the generator start going down. And at this point, Faded was a little worried because of course they were running and trying to rush the gate. I said, no worries, they're not going to make it. I told them from the beginning, as long as he can guard that car battery and follow the Nancy visions and stay on mic with me, that we were going to win this. And sure enough, he was a great teammate. He listened, we worked, and we did. So I got this little cut of Leland. Leland must have realized at this point that there is no way he's going to beat me to the gate because I didn't go right after him. I tried to push the gate instead. So as soon as I look, he's ducked. He's turned tailed and run. So we waited a couple minutes, and then next thing you know, Johnny's following Julie up, and I just couldn't resist. I sent Julie all kinds of love earlier, so I was like, I got your back. She's going to stun you, but it's okay. And I knew Leland was still up here, so I told Johnny, I'm like, as soon as you get clear, start running for that gate, because Leland's going to be popping the lock. And he's like, sure enough, he was. He's like, oh, and I knew, I'm like, you just got to get a couple of hits. He's not going to get away, because as soon as I can move, he's going to have 2 on him. So they struggle at the lock, and I see him. starts running. Leland immediately goes for the well. So by this point, we had about 2 ticks probably on the front door and 2 ticks on the escape gate, but they never came back this way ever again for the rest of the match. So I told Johnny, head down the cattle gate side, start the generator as you do, and you guys heard the pressure gate. So we were just both hoping that Sissy was doing her job and keeping Connie in check while we dealt with those two, and sure enough, she did. She kept Connie off the pressure gate, and Connie was playing the well game back in the tunnels by the time it was all over. Until we get to the next slide. A little bit of time goes by, a little bit of house searching. We're all checking our routes. And I noticed that that door was barged, which it hadn't been before. It was latched. So I was like, oh, is somebody else up here? Start doing my checks around. And sure enough, here comes Connie sneaking up my side, right up the ladder. And instead of trying to go through what would have actually been her safe route, because she knew I could follow her through this gate, so she didn't try. She immediately turned and was like, I'm going to wall crawl because Nancy won't be able to follow me. But I have my barbed wire trap, and the second trap here on the upstairs pays off. Connie goes into a bleed out incapacitated and gets herself executed. 3 down, 1 to go. The ladies have all bit the bucket. There's 1 person left now, and that is Leland. Leland gives us the runaround for a really good minute, so I reset my barbed wire. He's tried to push the upper gate once, so I'm like, he might do it again, but I'm telling Johnny, I'm using my visions. We keep him in check until we eventually get him trapped into a corner. And ultimately, you'll see. Nancy finally gets to take a break. She finally gets to leave the house because the vision paid off. We were tracking him to the back of the car battery. Johnny put the pressure and just stood there. And Leland just hid in the grass, never assuming I was going to come. He already had the yellow marker. So he's like, Nancy's going to stay in the house. Nobody wants to tussle with that Nancy after she already killed 3 people, right? So I'm on mic with Johnny. He's like, he's back here. I'm right back where I'm standing. He's behind by the tool bin. And I was like, okay, over here? No. And he's like, yep, back behind this truck. I was like, oh, really? How convenient. There's the tool shed, and he gets into a lockup with me. This close encounter business has to stop, guys. And sure enough, Nancy wins the final close encounter, and we get the 4-way squad wipe. Took out the whole team on Nancy's own house. Her boy Johnny did a great job protecting the back. Shout out again to Faded Eyes 420. Thank you so much for the assistance, man. Thank you for being on mic. You were a great teammate. Glad I accepted that friend request, and I'll look forward to running with you. And as for the rest of you YouTube video viewers, don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe if you like this content. I'm green_lantern831, and thanks for watching.